Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Digital Binder Project. We are on episode number 14. We last left off on this page of complete randomness, but very sweet randomness. Um, let's keep going. So, this page here just has more random errors on it, but they pair very well together. Um, this card right here has an error on it which appears to be a tape error, but is actually a completely different type of error. Um, the hypothesis is that this error is caused from blanket smash. I'm not going to describe that right now, but it looks like there's a piece of tape that's been printed on top of. That's not the case. This is actually just pure cardstock. And I've got its little connector buddy over here. I really like these two over here. I think they pair very well together. So we've got an occlusion error here where, well, it appears to be a piece of tape or paper, more likely paper, got on one of the rollers and inhibited the magenta ink. Or is it yellow? I forget. Uh, I'll have to look closer at it with a loop later. Whereas this one is super saturated on the yellow layer. And they just pair very nicely together. It's all about making cool looking binder pages. More ink slick errors, or oil slick errors, as these are called. We believe it's oil. It's some type of moisture gets on a roller or the sheet, causes this to happen. More likely to roller than the sheet. If it was a sheet, it would be a single error. If it's on the roller, you'll see it across multiple errors. Now, this island here, there's a whole bunch of these out here. First glance, you may not notice anything wrong with this island, except it's just missing a set symbol. That's all. And I've got a buddy here to compare it to, which has its set symbol, but is also just a little darker on the saturation side. And this lonely singleton over here in the bottom right corner, this is just a Dark Visions card. Ooh, this page is fun. Uh, these three cards at the top are all blank on one side, and normally you'd be like, oh, well, that's just an artist proof, Jason. Well, here's the thing. They did not make artist proofs in Italian. What set is this? Lorwyn, I believe? Focus, please. Yeah, Italian Lorwyn did not have artist proofs, so these are all misprints. One of the really cool things that I got with these Italian artist proofs, or not artist proofs rather, was this wonderful note explaining how he opened up in the draft, and he was very sad how he couldn't play with the cards that he had opened in his draft, but he had kept them ever since. They were actually given to me. I bought these three cards in the center from him. These are missing most of this silver ink on the borders, so these are white bordered unstable cards. So I bought these three from him, and he just threw these in, just cause. I mean, the generosity people, absolutely amazing. This card here in the bottom, exact same error as the one as the top, completely different set. This is Italian in the Dark, also did not have artist proofs, and it's on a snake. This mountain here, again, more saturation errors. This one is very lightly printed. Believe it's on one of the black layers or maybe a magenta. I don't know. I have to look at this under a loop to really figure out what's going on, but it's likely that it's one of the black layers. This guy here in the bottom left corner, not entirely sure if he's a misprint or not. I have examined it under microscope. There are things about it that lead me to believe that it is real, but there is also the very real possibility that it is not. If so, it stays in the binder. I don't care either way. It's cool. It's got a little bit of a story behind it. The source is very interesting. But let's keep going. This page here dedicated to sheet edge miscuts. Except this one. Why is that there? It's because it pairs with that. Sorry. Um, so yeah, just sheet edge miscuts information. We've already seen a whole bunch of these. I have quite a few pages of miscuts with sheet edges. I really like just how they look compared to your normal run-of-the-mill miscut. Oh, this one's really cool. It's got these little color dots on it. I think that's just neat. So yeah, just a page of sheet edge miscuts. These ones are really cool. They are obviously not magic card shaped. The corners are very, very slightly rounded, so that means that this card just barely got clipped by the corner rounding die. It was, who knows? This thing's janked up to all heck, but I love it. More sheet edge miscuts. Gonna show off a couple of them on this page. This one is probably my favorite on the page. Ooh, there we go. You see that plus discard? So that just indicates that there was a discard filler on the sheet, and the fact that that includes that in the sheet edge info, I just think is absolutely incredible. I love the text on these things. Is this the one that says Gruul Goliaths? Yeah. So what the precon was, I'm not even sure. But Gruul Goliaths is how they called it internally, which I think is kind of neat. And this one here, it's got this crazy red number on it. Rollum Slitter, or is it Stitter or Slitter? I think Slitter. That involves that. I think that's the cutting machine, or I'm not entirely sure what piece of factory equipment is. You could Google search it. Now this page here isn't going to show up very well, even when I get the camera to focus on it. Come on. I want to show them how out of focus this card is. There we go. Got this beautiful registration error on this Yavimaya ant. And this page is just a page of registration errors. This Keldon Champion, uh, or yeah, I think it's a Keldon Champion. It's not in English. Um, has a very slight registration error. Um, slight off, slightly off center on the front. Normal on the back. It's technically a double whammy. I think there was something else about it that made it maybe a triple whammy, but it's all super, super minor stuff. I think this one is actually a lot cooler than... No, it's not going to show up very well. Everything's blurry when you're showing blurry cards to a blurry camera. This page here is really cool. These are all revised cards where the black ink on the borders, I believe that's the text black pass, uh, was very lightly applied. So we got these gray border revised cards. So all 8 of these are all gray border revised. This one in the center had a different misprinting issue on the borders, but I needed a centerpiece for the page since I traded away the old centerpiece for it. And this one actually has misprint on the front and back, which is really cool. Although it's never going to show up. There we go. And I think I'm going to do one more page and then we're going to call this a video. So this is these rows all pair well together. The same error across all 3 of these Calastria healers. The thing I really like about this is it'll show you it'll give you a little bit of insight into the layering process. So you can see the text and the border exist on the same layer, but the card frame exists on a different layer. It just indicates that there's 2 separate art passes for black, or sorry, two separate passes for black. One for art, one for text. The one for text has borders and text. Sometimes it has mana symbols, name, or power toughness. Um, they mix that up occasionally. There's no consistency across sets and time, what gets art black and what gets text black, at least to my knowledge. This copper carapace here is part of a sequence of copper carapaces. So earlier when I said that something got onto the roller, this is a great example. Just shows you progression wise, from severe, like most severe. So in theory, there's a whole bunch of these out there. And you could, in theory, create a scalar gradient of coming from here, going all the way back to normal, because these errors tend to correct themselves, or the machine gets shut down and they fix it by hand. And these Ashen Ghoulies here are actually really cool. I've got 4 of them, and this shows an error across different color plates. So this one, we could see the same error hitting the cyan, or blocking. Well, all right, I'm not going to posit what is happening on each one of these because I'm definitely going to be wrong on the fly here. So I'm just going to show them off. This one, we can see a little bit of cyan coming through. This one, we got magenta. This one, just that little white streak. And this one's got a yellow. They just show really nicely together. And I love seeing that error across the multiple plates. Oh yeah. Let's see, which one's which? This one's yellow. And that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you want to learn more about misprints and rarities, check out the website, misprintedmtg.com. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever. Check out other people's YouTube videos. Do whatever the hell you want. Don't listen to me. Just do your own thing. See you next time.